best brother running this Buffalo soldier.
68, man.
What a treasure, dude.
What a fucking treasure.
We got a guest.
We haven't had a guest in a while.
We haven't, man.
You and me have just been ripping them.
I know. We were like, we got to get more guests, and we did like 6 episodes in a row.
Yeah, that was
Sam's
nice.
guest.
But today's guest, returning guest, is this our first returner?
Yeah, I
You're
believe.
First returning guest. How does that make you feel? Steve Gerbin?
Feels great.
The
Nice.
Gerby baby, dude. The Gerbers.
Nice.
What's up, dude? How was your weekend, Matthew?
Chilling, man. What did I do? Saw BP.
Oh, you saw Black Panther?
Saw Black Panther, yeah.
Oh, that must have been so
It's
powerful.
historic, dude. It was nice.
Was it historic?
Yeah, well, dude, I'm telling you, you go in there and it was just like dudes taking pictures of the marquee, and it was like people were fucking stoked.
Yeah, it's like Jackie Robinson, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King.
It was
Marvel comic book movie.
Yeah, it was up there, dude.
God,
it was up there.
people are reaching so hard to be part of a civil rights movement right now.
Yeah,
it's weird.
but the movie was literally there was maybe me and one other white dude in there, and we were in Cherry Hill too.
Yeah.
So, because everyone's like, "Where'd you see the movie?" I saw it in like North Philly. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I was in Cherry Hill, and I was like the only white dude in there.
Well, that's because white people are
They're all sold out.
respecting the culture right now. And you got to understand, as a white person, and I assume our listener is white, don't go see Black Panther yet. Let them have this.
You got to go.
You got to show respect to their culture and maybe wait a week.
You got to go right now. It's all sold out, dude.
The last thing they need is more colonists in that theater,
Dude, you got to go.
in that white
You
run
have to go watch
theater.
it.
No. Don't see Black Panther.
You got to see it, dude.
All right. How's it going? Doing good?
It's good.
Nice. I went to go see it, but it was sold out till
Sold
like
out
Thursday.
everywhere. Well, like it's like all the other stuff. It's good. You watch it. It's cool, and then it's like it taps into that, like the current movement of being like calling white dudes colonists and being like the white guy tries to speak and they're like woof woof woof, and like they
Whoa.
don't let him speak.
Wait, they bark at him?
Yeah, and like they like do like
hilarious.
it's really weird. And then like
Well, they got that right.
Well,
That's
you-
kind of realistic.
but you watch
I walk
it.
outside. I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, I'm like, all right.
Well, you watch it, and it's just kind of like you see the thing, then you try to explain it to someone who's not white, and they're or like maybe they are white, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, dude,
I
there's
know,
something
I know.
weird, and they're like, "Well, that's how it felt for us," and it's like, I guess, man, I don't know, it just feels like a weird thing to do, and everyone's like, "That's the point of the movie. It's like supposed to make you feel."
No, it's supposed to be a fucking comic book movie.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
I've been trying to sell that at shows. I
What?
did an all black show last week. And
You
I was
can't-
like,
you
I was
can't-
like, hey guys, you know Black Panther's gonna fucking suck, right?
No,
And they
dude.
were like, what? I was like, dude, unless you're a little kid or you have half a brain, it's a fucking comic book movie. You're an adult.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that
gonna
it's a
suck.
mainstream movie, and it's like an all black cast, so it's like a milestone,
Dude.
In that,
Black Iron Man has to be sitting there like, what the fuck, guys?
there's no black Iron
Yeah, there
Man.
is.
Where?
Fucking Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, he's like Iron Man's fucking helper, dude.
That's all right. He made up 10% of the Iron Man franchise accurately.
You would think he'd make it an appearance in there, though.
Also, if I were black, I would have celebrated Django a lot harder than I celebrated Black Panther.
What was Django? Oh, did Django?
Django Unchained,
Yeah, but this was black cast, black director.
white production company, white
Marvel.
white owner.
Yeah,
fucking,
Stanley.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, I get why
White man
people are.
still
I
getting
get why
paid
people
off
are
of all
stoked
of
off
that.
it. That's the weirdest thing too. That was the thing I was trying to figure out. I'm like, is this just like kind of clickbait? Where
It is.
like it's not even made like when everyone's like, oh, that's the design. It's made. It's like, or is it just made for people to talk about and write on the internet and get outraged about? And it's like that's my whole thing with all this
who's
stuff.
getting outraged about it?
Dude, there's a lot of bad movie reviews who are like, fuck this movie. This movie's
Oh, I mean,
bullshit.
it
Blah
probably
blah blah.
sucked.
It's
a comic book
It's a
movie.
comic book movie. So it's like it sucks on the level of like if you don't like comic book movies. It's it's
It's like, again, I said it's like, go, if you want to see Black Panther, just watch any Spider-Man movie and just listen to Kendrick Lamar while you watch it.
yeah.
It's the same fucking movie.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that.
It's like,
It was
it's
like-
gonna
it
be
was-
CGI garbage with Kendrick Lamar playing.
It was the most
It's like,
it was like the most the plot was the most like intricate it's been for which usually they're very linear where it's like
Yeah.
dude something bad happens, comes back. They had like a anti-hero thing going on with Michael B.
nice.
with Jack Nick Cannon, dude.
That's sick.
I thought that was Nick Cannon for like 6 months.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man with Kendrick Lamar, and you got to sit next to a guy from Trenton, New Jersey, in a fucking dashiki.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It
That's
was
my take on it.
it was so weird. It's such a weird, I don't know. I can't even like because I thought about it a lot because I was like, I left and I watched it and I was like, God, that's so fucking annoying. And then if you tell people that, they're like, well, that's, that you can't handle it. And it's like, I don't really care. There just seems like there's something really weird going on.
There's something off. There's something bad about it. It's like the same thing with Get Out. Except I bet this is a way worse movie than Get Out.
Well, they're impossible for me to watch because I analyze them. I sit there and I'm like watching it like, the fuck's going on? I'm like the white version of the dude from Do the Right Thing who's wearing like the Africa fish shirt, and they're like, dude, shut the fuck up with this bullshit. I'm like, no, you gotta watch it. Look. But it
is clickbait was the perfect example.
Yeah,
Black Panther is clickbait in just movie form.
Yeah, well, it is for certain people. But then if you're black, you're just like, fuck yeah, dude, finally a Marvel movie. Like if you and I were the world and like every movie was like Matt McCusker, and they made the Shane Gillis movie, you'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go. We're gonna watch this. That's I get that. That's the problem. There's too many groups with different things going into it. Like for white people, when I'm talking to a white guy and like, oh my God, this is the best movie I ever saw, I'm just kind of like, was it, bro?
Yeah.
Then if I'm talking like a black dude who was like, I was so excited for Black Panther, I'm like, you probably were fucking stoked and you probably really enjoyed it. If it was all Madea movies forever and one day it was just like white dude movie, you'd be like, yo, bring the fucking kids. There's a white guy movie. We're fucking seeing this thing. That part I do get.
I don't think it is only. Oh, I guess if you're a comic book fan, sure.
Exactly, like
but
Marvel.
There's definitely black movies.
Not like mainstream though, because I kept trying to think of like mainstream Madea.
Training Day.
That's not a black movie. It's Denzel is the black dude.
There's a lot of fucking black people in that.
Yeah, but it's not a black movie though.
There's
like
movies
Madea.
with black people.
Have you ever watched a Madea movie?
Yeah, of course.
That's a black movie. Came to the conclusion that I don't care about this shit anymore. I'm done with this shit. I don't care.
The commercialization of civil rights and activism is so fucking annoying.
Yes.
Like Lexus doing Black Panther commercials and like every single dude, watch ESPN. There's one commercial that's just two of the anchors rapping.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all hip hop. It's all that. It's all black people. It's not Michelle Beadle. Yeah, she's on one of those. Mm-hmm. They all are like trying to get their snippet online of going viral. So on each episode, they're like, "What do you think about people kneeling?" Yeah. Every fucking show. Well, and it's like black people need to stand up for themselves. It's like, all right, Michelle Beadle. You white fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
No, everyone's
Tell
trying to
me
get
about
that.
the Packers game.
Everyone's trying to get that. Oh, she's going on like hard
People,
Timmy Lauren
not
land.
necessarily just her, but I've seen her a couple times.
So
like,
that's the weird.
Annoying.
That's the weird thing about this because there's definitely something in the air. It's like there's this weird thing among people where it's like social change is kind of trapped in the air, and it's like advertisers are just like they plug into it, and they're like, you want to get a Lexus? Huh? Black people, huh? Come on.
It's like, look at the Black Panther, huh? Look at this guy.
How about this?
He's getting a Lexus.
14 Lexus. Yeah, it's pretty weird to think that like they're. That's the market dictates all that stuff. So people see that and they're like,
Lexus is Japanese, dude.
They're Japanese.
Oh,
well, dude, it's so weird that people get like
Lexus for a Black Panther.
The whole idea is to see that, plug into it, buy a Lexus, and be like, I'm somehow weirdly helping civil rights with this new Acura RSX.
The Barack Paper of America.
Did you watch the?
I'll buy a Rexus.
Did you watch the Putin video?
That he's like, don't vote for me, or if you don't vote for me, you're fucking gay.
Did you watch that?
No.
All right, yeah, we got to include Gerben instead of you and me going on fucking.
Don't know.
Instead of our
Gerbs,
race.
what do you think about this?
No,
What's
dude,
your take?
don't make him talk about this.
That's Joe, dude. This is suicide.
I just don't even have anything good to contribute. I think.
It's poisonous.
I don't watch.
Keep this stuff out of your mind, dude. It's poisonous.
Yeah, it's tough to watch.
You start always watching shit with this weird filter,
and
dude.
you know it's wrong, but you can't really put your finger on why, because if you say it's wrong, everyone's like, what are you, a fucking racist? It's like, no. It's just weird to see Lexus dogpile on this, or T-Mobile will be like, you believe all people should be treated equally.
Yeah.
T-Mobile. What?
Yes, exactly. No, and that's the that is the clickbaity part of it, where it's not about like we need to help people. It's like, what are people yammering on about? And they're like, all right, we'll get behind that.
Yeah.
Well, I think also too something that I would worry about with stuff like that is when you're condescending to people, then there's like a pushback.
Sure.
And then you're like, well, you're just creating a nightmare scenario for all of us then, because then we're going to have people pushing back on this in a way that could... That's
exactly... Well, no, that's not useless. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. We got fucking Donald Trump.
There was an
and then it doubled. after Donald Trump. The last like year and a half,
We gotta let him go, dude.
Has been just
No, it's true.
butt fucked down our throats.
Yeah.
I mean, it was before Trump with Hillary. It was getting rammed down our throats pretty hard. And with Obama, when Obama got elected, it was fucking like...
And this is like kind of one of the things of the talk. And, you know, you bring up Jordan Peterson. I think, not that I would agree with everything, but I really like him.
Yeah.
Obviously. And one of the things I think he's doing that's very important is giving people a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
In his new book, the 12 Rules for whatever. You know,
Yeah,
whatever
I'm halfway through. That's
12
really
rules for white supremacists.
Shane finds it to be a white supremacist, you know. But okay, so let me just start with like this general idea that I think what a lot of bad ideas come from this belief that there would be some way to go back to living in harmony with nature. That like when you look at human progress, you can see these bad things. You can see like, you know, global warming or factory farms or you know, nuclear weapons, and you go, well, we just need to get back to this symbiotic relationship with nature.
Yeah.
This kind of like, I eat the berry, I poop the seed becomes a bush, and it's just like this one-to-one life and death. And that is just like total bullshit.
Yeah.
It does not work that way whatsoever. Nature, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was saying, what do you? So how? Like, what's
Tell that to the Native Americans.
Tell that to.
So you think it's good that we conquered the Native Americans and expelled them from this land so we could create this great empire?
No, that's not the conclusion.
You
that
think
I necessarily draw.
You were like, they're out in the woods eating fucking berries, shitting in tents, fucking around. We should show up and be like, get the fuck out of here. We're building nukes.
Well, I think there's a difference between saying we should find a way to conquer or control nature and commit genocide on people.
So would you say...
mutually exclusive.
Would you say that the Hoover Dam is greater than anything the Native Americans ever accomplished?
I don't
Just
want to
the
get
Hoover
into the
Dam.
specifics of the Hoover Dam.
Would you say that the St. Louis Arch is a greater accomplishment than any single thing those fucking savages ever did?
Well, I mean, now this is going to unavoidably make me sound racist, but the knowledge that's contained in the arch, namely things about...
So yes.
Yes, definitely. 100%.
What?
Yeah, because if...
What about the Pueblo?
But again, you're putting this on Native Americans. So I would rather, instead of like putting this on a specific demographic...
You want to put it on the whole earth.
I just want to say that do we want societies that create knowledge or don't create knowledge? And
there you go. That's fair.
You can suck air through your teeth.
Yeah, that's fair, dude.
I
No,
like the sound of this.
I'm telling you, this is pure academics, dude.
Obviously, I fucking agree with
you
everything
do.
you're saying, but it's funny to put you in a point where you have to be racist, because if you do break down this logic down to individual groups, it gets racist. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but you don't have to. That's the thing.
Yeah, you don't have to, but it's funny that you can.
Yeah.
The main purpose of the talk, like you were bringing up about other cultures that have had their sort of what I would call a final answer.
Yeah.
Which that to me is, if there's one filter through which you could pass any ideology, it should be, is this ideology purporting to know something that is not challengeable? So like a final answer, communism, for instance, claims to know the perfect way to organize this political and economic institution. So if you can't error correct it, then when an inevitable problem arises, you're fucked. And that is exactly what happened and will always happen with communism. Because it's top down. You don't allow for error correction whatsoever. You claim to know the perfect way to organize it. So, but just to come back to nature, we were talking about how it's totally impossible to live in harmony with nature. And one of the reasons is like, if you were to personify nature, I'm trying to do this kind of as a joke, so help me out. But it would be a horrible negotiating partner. If you sat down, you're like, nature, I want to live in harmony with you. Nature would be like, I'm going to kill a third of your kids before they reach adulthood.
Yeah.
Nature, for this argument, let's say nature is just a mean black lady.
Why?
And you're like, nature, I want to work with you. And she's like,
dick. No, nature is not a mean black lady. Let's say nature is a white person.
Mother Nature is definitely a black lady.
No.
She's like, tsunami over here.
Okay,
hurricanes for y'all.
Okay, so that is true, though. So
what is true?
All those things that this lady would be saying is stuff that nature would be saying.
Yeah.
Here's a flood. Here's a drought.
Yeah.
And it's more than nature just being like, here's a disease, here's all these things. It's also changing the arena in which it's attempting to kill you, insofar as like 18,000 years ago, England during the last ice age was under a mile of ice. It's like a mile to the sky of ice. And then 180,000 years before that, it was just like a swamp with hippos in it. It's like, this is...
With hippos?
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
That's according to
Nature's like a really, really, really hard level of Mario, basically.
Right.
It's just like an impossible fucking video game.
It's like a neighbor that you pissed off. That's just like crazy.
I still kind of like Mean Black Lady in this.
Okay.
Hippos. You get hippos now. Oh.
America. Yeah. Let me just clarify one point here about what's sounding very optimistic. So this comes from David Deutsch, the physicist, which is that, like, what is possible? And he says, as long anything that is not that does not violate the laws of physics is possible, given that we create the right knowledge.
Have you ever seen me eat pussy though? I'm pretty sure I violate the laws of physics.
You definitely do, dude. I've heard it.
You don't
You hear the tongue.
I bend space and time like.
I've been trying to sleep and I've heard his tongue. It makes it weird. It's like wow, wow, wow.
No, I've never bend space and time.
He ate one girl's pussy so hard that I cummed 2 rooms over.
I can't. I made you come.
I jizzed my pants. I was just standing there. I was like, whoa.
Sorry to cut you off.
It's like in Logan when Professor X has those seizures and everyone's just like, oh, they can't move. That's what happens when Matt eats pussy. The whole room is just like, oh. All right, sorry.
So,
go ahead about space exploration.
No, it's great.
David Joy. So you can do anything as long as it doesn't violate
the laws of physics, given that we create the knowledge. So what it's saying, it's not guaranteed. It's not a form of optimism that guarantees that we will spread out through the universe.
Yeah.
It just guarantees that we can. So that's up to us. And I've lost my train of thought for a second because I was...
Sorry.
Well, you were talking about how any problem we can fix.
Right. So something like...
the ice block.
Sure. So something like global warming would be the same thing. And right now, the conversation seems to be dominated from the right, who's saying it doesn't exist, or the left, who's saying we've got to go back to living in this way.
Yeah.
That, neither is right. I mean, at some point in the future, problems from nature are inevitably going to happen. So the ice age, natural climate change, or a volcano erupts, or an asteroid or a meteor, or taken to the extreme, the sun's going to burn out.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that is going to meet and neutralize those problems is human knowledge that we can create. So that makes us incredibly important to the universe.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. We've had this conversation a couple times. I really enjoy it.
Oh, good.
Well, it's
You
also...
and me have talked about this at Bards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And can I just say
That's
one
fun.
more
Yeah,
thing?
please, bro.
But because to me, it's kind of funny too, because you can imagine if even in 1900, if like an asteroid was coming to us, a big one, you'd be like, I mean, we'd have the telescopes to look at. Kitty Hawk hadn't even happened yet. You're still, armies are on horses.
Yeah.
What do you do? And now it's just like, all right, we've got serious weaponry
To blast that thing into little pieces.
Later, nature.
All right, so your talk is... So you're a renowned white supremacist.
Yeah, definitely. And just one other thing, like the problem is that you're saying things in your Alex Jones voice, but some of them are pretty close to correct, which is hard to then agree with it. But I sent you a voice memo about this at one point. In Carl Sagan, and he has this beautiful speech about the pale blue dot, which is the Voyager spacecraft is sent out. And right before it's gonna pass Neptune, he convinces NASA to turn it around and take one last picture of Earth. And it's just this pale blue dot suspended in a sunbeam. And that's how he describes it. And he writes eloquently, it's really beautiful, except this one part where, it's like we spill blood over arbitrary lines in the sand, is kind of the general idea. And it's like, yes, the lines are arbitrary, but the ideas contained within those lines are anything but. it's like, it's not a mistake. It's not just random that there is an American flag on the side of the Voyager spacecraft that took that picture. That wasn't like the wheel got stuck. Oh, America. It's because these ideas that allow us to create that type of technology.
Yeah.
And that is worth dying for.
True that, yeah.
You get me fired up,
Fuck,
dude.
man.
I'm going to go over there to ISIS. I'm going to say, we're trying to go to Mars, faggots. Knock it off.
That was the...
Cut it out. We're trying to get to Mars.
Didn't they had a rule before where they were like, you can't use weapons in outer space because outer space is like a serene, peaceful environment. And that's a funny thing to be like, well... But I can go in a grocery store and just blow the fucking place up. Like, why is space so fucking
Who
sacred?
the fuck said this?
That was when was it Bush or someone during like there was an act. No, it was before that. There was an act they
Star
passed.
Wars?
It's a Star Wars act, being
Yeah.
like we cannot weaponize space. Space is like
When we
this
were-
celestial.
They
We have to
weaponize it. They'll weaponize
exactly, but it was just funny for them to be like, space is too peaceful. We can't.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
dude, why are you worried about the
It's like
peace in
space
space?
is the worst place ever.
So you know, uninhabitable vacuum. It's like
Yeah.
we can't fuck around up there. Let's keep fucking
Yeah.
our killings down to our nice lush planet.
But no, back to what you said at the end there. It's exactly right.
And that is right.
I mean, everybody knows that.
Can
Why
I-
is America number one, dude?
I thought we covered that.
All right. I just want to hear it again.
Look, I wanted to also too, because one thing I think is kind of funny, but I can't. I'm like failing to make it funny. Is just this idea of explanations, which I'm going to talk about in the talk, and this is in part one. But how all cultures have had rain dances. I talked to you about this.
This is great.
And I just think it's interesting because, first of all, a rain dance is an explicit attempt at weather modification. So, like, no matter what you want to say about people in the West, you're like, you're destroying the weather. It's like, that's what they were trying to do. It's just that they failed at it.
Fair.
So that we're kind of like, oh, like we look at it with a degree of reverence.
If they're blasting lasers, we wouldn't be like, oh,
Right. Or if their rain dances worked.
true that.
What I was saying to Shane was like, if you've lived with somebody that likes the thermostat slightly different, you know how annoying that gets.
Yeah.
If you all of a sudden you go out in the morning and it's raining and you're like, fucking.
God, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
to think about.
the rain dance, to think of it as attempted weather modification.
I mean, it is, dude.
I mean, no, of course it's what it is. But
That's
it's
crazy.
just funny to look at it in that light.
And again, though, but people look at.
Chemtrails, dude.
It was Native American chemtrails.
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
There
they're
were smoke
fucking-
signals. They were fucking dancing.
They wanted
Put
to make
aluminum
the
in the air.
progress that we make. They just didn't know how.
Fair enough.
And.
They didn't fucking get jiggy with it enough, dude.
True.
They should have danced harder.
Damn, the times that it must have appeared to have worked must have just
I know.
must have been the most lit fucking
Well,
party
dude, it'd be
ever.
the same thing as like an open mic when like you're out, your rain dance didn't work. Some guy like drizzled a little bit. He's like, dude, you just gotta loosen up. Just fucking, you just gotta be yourself, dude.
It's like,
Just
dude,
do
you're
what
pretty
comes to
funny.
mind.
You're funny. That was good. It's like,
Like, it got a little
Just
humid,
thunder.
dude. It got humid out there. You just gotta fucking just let him
got
have it.
humid.
I've been doing this for like 15 years, bro. It's like I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing. That was people who thought they were the shit at rain dancing must have been so funny.
they must have like hit it once or twice and then just been like, I'm not doing it again. I can't do it. Like every 10 years, they'd hit one. Dude, if you hit a rain dance, you'd be the fucking man.
It's over,
Yes.
dude. It's over. Well, there was another book talking about that and how like God evolved, where there'd be like people who would do that, and then they'd be like, "Yep, this guy's in charge of everything," and then he'd do it again, it didn't work, and he'd be like, "Which one of you guys did something fucked up?" And they're all like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I did something fucked up. Ah, he knows."
It's like in Apocalypto when there's the eclipse. Did you see Apocalypto?
No.